It's like a.
Well, Nick would sing you a song, Sherry, but he doesn't have one. He said, "Fuck it, I don't care."
It's getting hard to think of.
I can't think anymore. Sorry, it was all my fault that we're late. I'll be honest. I'm not going to be like other producers and blame other people. It was all my fault. 100% my fault.
Well, there you go.
Nobody wants to say, "Hey."
You asked me to start the podcast for you, and then
I said you may have to start it. I said I'm home. I'm home.
Okay.
And then I started doing.
I've been hanging out waiting since 9:05. I've been like,
that's your fault.
I logged in at 9:21 myself.
Nice.
I logged in at 9:30.
We can tell.
Yeah.
Then I had to get the cool background.
Yeah.
Just like you.
When are you going to put it up?
Good night, everybody.
Nick,
we're keeping this tight. We're keeping it an hour.
It's producer jokes. You know how it goes.
I know.
They don't get old. They just multiply.
I know Chris is happy today because Aaron Judge of the Yankees.
Yeah, good for him, dude. Like, good for him. Number 62, highest the home run leader in the American League history. I think that's fantastic for him.
Some would say the highest ever.
And he's totally going to come to the Red Sox next year. Well, the Yankees can't pay for him. Well, they could, but they're too stingy now. They're not going to go into the luxury tax of signing because he's going to need way more than the Yankees are willing to pay. And
hats off to him for saying, "Hey, you know what? I'm not taking your $230 million contract." Which,
fuck yeah,
when you think about it, you go, "All right, somebody could turn down $230 million and go for 5 years and say, yeah, okay."
Well, he's already said he wants to come to Boston. I mean, but it's also posturing too. I mean, trying to get the best.
Oh yeah, but I'm saying is, I go, if someone says to any of us, say, "Hey, you want $230 million over 5 years?" No, I'm going to wait and see what happens next year.
Yeah.
Because you know what happened to me.
That's what that translates to is fuck you.
I'd break my leg and never be able to play again. That's just I have that kind of luck.
Yeah.
So he's coming to the Giants.
Giants. I mean, I doubt it.
He wants to go to a good team. So anyway,
that's definitely not the Red Sox then, because we are fucking terrible.
Well, how many I mean, he has a short porch in New York.
Well, if he
how many home runs would he hit in Boston with this?
Oh, dude, he would hit 80 easy. Of the Green Monster, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, the Green Monster, but also in the outfield, your outfield and right center is low. I mean, the wall is only like 4 feet high. Yeah. Sure. Whatever you massholes call it, I don't know.
The triangle.
Judge would look good in Phillies pinstripes.
Nope.
He is going.
Sorry, Chris.
He's going to make a boatload of fucking.
He's going to make a fuck ton of money wherever he goes. That'd be cool to have him here for sure.
Yeah. So, and you know what? I didn't even take him on the Padres.
I feel like we talked about this recently, but I had a conversation with some employees and some friends earlier. And I was saying, don't you guys just wish that we could fucking have steroids back? Like, baseball was so much better when people were juicing. Like, it was.
I'm probably the one person. I'm the one person in America that didn't get hyped up over.
People cared.
Again, and this has always been my argument. I didn't mind the power hitters, the guys who normally like Bonds, McGuire, so guys that always hit home runs. Is the fact that people who never hit home runs before were suddenly hitting 50 homers. That made a mockery of the game.
Dude, great. Bring it back. People cared. People went to the games.
Padres had 3 million fans this year. First time ever.
Yeah, and then Tatis fucking shit the bed.
He did, and he fucked
up the whole no longer have fans.
No, they're still selling out.
Yeah.
People will forgive because he's young. He never got caught while he was playing. That's the key. He never got caught while he was playing. If he comes back and he's the same player that hits 40 homers and is like
that's what I'm saying. Bring back steroids. It'd be so much better. Like, just let it rip. Like, who cares? Who cares?
Well, the players die earlier.
That's on them. No, I'm fucking serious.
I hear you. We should do a crackpot sports discussion.
Think of the entertainment value that you get out of things like, I don't know, the WWF, right? Or whatever the fuck they're called now.
I don't watch it.
Well, I mean, but millions of people do, and we're not watching it because it's a bunch of people who don't do drugs and steroids. Like they're all juiced up. Going back into the 80s, thinking about like the Ultimate Warrior, Hulk Hogan, The Rock. I mean, if you're going to tell me The Rock wasn't on steroids when he's in the WWE, you're out of your goddamn mind. Like they all were.
I'm not. It's safe to say he's probably still on him.
Yeah, for sure. Right.
How can you be an actor where he works nonstop and still be that chiseled? I mean, I know I pull it off, but it's still.
They are there to perform
Are you, Chris? Are you also like pro? Like, hey, let those quarterbacks get concussions.
No,
just put them out.
That's different. Okay. That's fucking different.
Oh, okay. How's it different? It's entertaining.
Yeah, but you're physically injuring somebody.
But you're fit. But steroids. Steroids are physically. It's not different.
You can do steroids in a way that's not going to kill you in the future. You can't take someone the head-on injury and not cause immediate injury.
Hey, it's watching someone get his block knocked off is entertainment.
I think there's also a certain amount of peer pressure for those quarterbacks to get back up and go out there.
Of course. Yeah, the NFL's fucked. There's going to be an investigation on this, and they're going to be screwed.
I did a video on the Tua thing, and I just said, that coach, how do you let Tua, because I say, too, the Thursday game should be eliminated. The Thursday games are a joke because the players don't have enough time to recoup in 4 days, especially ones that are already hurt. Right. You can't, and he was already hurt. And then so you throw him back out there again, he gets slammed down like a rag doll. Now, the guy that did it, I didn't think it was a dirty play. He just grabbed him and wasn't letting go of him, and he fell, and Tua weighs maybe 80 pounds, and he flipped back and he hit his head, and he's laying there. And it was a scary scene.
Yeah, it was terrible.
And the NFL, as always, fucks up. And, the players need to grow a pair and say, hey, look, we're not going to keep taking the crap from the NFL. We're going to say, look, you need to. But
you have one other player right behind you that's just like, well, I'll go out there and do it. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, but the problem is the player going behind him is not.
Nick's not said a word this whole fucking podcast, by the way. I actually ate.
I think the problem is that you got a bunch of 24-year-old quarterbacks out there thinking that they can just pop up and do it all over again because physically they probably feel like they can. They're being pressured by their agent. They're being pressured by their coach. They're being pressured by the GM of their team. And at 24 years old, they're invincible. And they go back out there and do it, but they're not. But they're forgetting, and what the coaches are forgetting, what the league is forgetting, is that the 44-year-old version of those people are going to be sitting there having their kids feed them fucking food.
Well, look, you look no further than Junior Seau, who played for 18 years with the Patriots.
Great example.
The Dolphins and the Chargers, is one of my favorite players of all time, and he ended up putting a bullet in his chest because his head was so scrambled. I mean, again, there was nothing back then. There was no, concussion protocol. They didn't. I mean, the NFL knew. They covered it up. They knew what was going on. But the players didn't know what was going on because, I'm sure even in your guys'
players knew. The players knew.
Well, I don't think they knew the full extent of it because when I was a kid, and I'm sure it was the same with you guys, but I'm a little older than everyone except Matt. That seriously, when you got hurt, even got hit in the head, it's like get up, rub some dirt on. Whatever they're saying was, come on, get up. You got to keep playing. Let's go.
Rub some dirt on it.
And he's like, okay, I can do it. I can play. And but no one thought anything of it because you would just go back out there and play. And it's funny because concussion, especially at a young age, you don't even have to hit your head. Yeah. It's just falling. Like we learned in skate, I was refereeing. I had to learn about concussions for some reason. But if a young player skates feet first into the boards, he can get a concussion because their brains, their heads, the brains rattle around.
Sure.
So. Anyway, hats off to Aaron Judge, but I'm against steroids.
And Pulos hit 700.
703.
Yeah, I was saying, but he achieved 700.
And the best part is the person that caught the ball said, "Nope, I'm keeping it." And
really?
Pujols said, "Yeah, he can have it."
Mm.
He goes, I'm not materialistic. Doesn't mean anything to me because the guy that caught the ball, I think it was the guy caught the ball, had it authenticated.
Autographed.
I couldn't say what I did in the video either. Authenticated and left the stadium. So he still has the ball. And I said, good for him. Keep it. Hold on to it for a few years. Sell it for $3-4 million. It's not like
The worst though was the
Blue Jay fan.
Oh, the guy who dropped the ball.
Number 61. He reached over, hit him in the glove, and he dropped it. I go, that's $1 million drop. That's $1 million drop.
He should have just gone over the rail. Yeah,
I would have.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's $1 million.
In other baseball news, I got news that the Savannah Bananas will be traveling to Massachusetts next summer, and I'm super pumped for that.
I found out about those guys a few months ago.
Yeah,
because they let me use one of their videos because I didn't. Those guys they're fucking entertaining.
Yeah, my daughter's obsessed. My father-in-law is obsessed. So they're playing in Brockton, Massachusetts, which is a suburb of Boston as well. But definitely when the tickets go on sale, I'm gonna get tickets to go see the Savannah Bananas, which I love. My favorite rule from that league, and Matt, you're muted still. So my favorite rule from that league is that if a fan catches a ball, it counts as an out.
So are all the teams like that? Are all the teams kind of? Is it just like the Harlem Globetrotters?
It's kind of catching on. So it's something like Coastal League, I think it is. Essentially, it's kind of like a men's league, but like a summer collegiate level team. Like we have the Cape Cod Baseball League here, which is a very prominent collegiate baseball league. That's most people who play in the Cape Cod League make their ways to the major leagues.
Ball, buddy.
But that's what Summer Catch is based off of. I don't know if you remember seeing Summer Catch.
It's good.
So, we're not talking about that anymore?
No, I'm just laughing at you.
No, I was making fun of Cape Cod, but that's okay.
Why?
Why not?
What's there to make fun of Cape Cod? Other than severe fucking crack problem.
They're kind of uppity.
No, they're not.
No?
No.
That's all Massachusetts.
No.
Yeah, that's true.
Cape Cod is not the uppity. It's the Martha's Vineyard and the Nantucket.
Martha's Vineyard. I get them all confused. They're all the same. I mean,
actually, one.
Well, for me, I'm saying
two of them are islands, and the other is a bunch.
I'm saying anyone outside of Massachusetts, because people don't really give a shit about Massachusetts. Nobody thinks they just don't think they're all the same. It all blends together.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah,
it's not like it's a real state.
Yeah, they're all assholes. That's all you gotta know. I mean, it's called masshole for a reason.
Exactly.
It's true.
I played pickleball for the first time.
I'm sorry, what?
What the fuck is pickleball?
It's like tennis, but you're on a smaller court, and you play with a wiffle ball like ball. And so it's kind of like a cross between tennis, badminton, and table and ping pong, as in that you're in a smaller court, but you're playing on.
You're outside? You're outside?
No, you can play inside or out. It doesn't matter. But the ball goes slower because it's got the holes in it like a wiffle ball does. But it's good. It's good for people our age in that you're not hurting your knees like you would if you were playing tennis, but you're not also just stationary. Like badminton.
It's old man tennis.
It's an old man tennis.
I called it boomer tennis.
Or handball even. Is it a racket?
It's just a flat racket.
It is taken over our town.
Does it have cat gut? Or
really?
No, it's just a hard plastic.
Hold on, Matt. You said it's taking over your town?
Yeah. Like they put up pickleball courts.
What do you have? 100 people in your
this
town?
year? They just put them up this summer, and then all of a sudden, they have not been playing pickleball at these courts.
The first
they're nonstop pickleball at these ports, and I had just heard about it this year. I'm like,
I'd never heard of it.
How did they just put these in? And there are just shit tons of people coming and playing pickleball. I'm like, good on you.
The first I ever heard of pickleball
was
on an episode of Ghost, the TV show that you guys said I never talked about. I'm like going, I turn to my wife, I go, is this like a real thing? And she goes, I don't know. I go, oh, it must be just something that TV's making up. And I was listening to Sirius Radio, some station, and they were saying they're starting leagues.
Yeah. And
they're saying people, they're going, hey, we should invest in these leagues.
Oh, shit.
I go, I've never even seen it. I've never even seen it play, but now we find out Nick's a professional.
I'd never heard of it. A friend of mine was like, "Oh, you want to go play pickleball?" I was like, "What the fuck's that?" And they were like, "Oh, it's kind of like."
I don't know you that well, and I really don't roll that way, but that's okay.
Hide the pickleball.
He knew how to get me there because they were like, "Oh,
I bet he did.
Yeah, sure did. Damn.
I'd have walked into that one.
At least you didn't back into it. That's it.
But it's fun. I'd play it again. Sure.
That was a soft pickle.
Did you win?
No, because the two guys we were playing teams, and so it was two people who had never played versus two people who play all the time, and so we got our ass handed to us.
Well, why didn't you switch it up?
Because they were assholes. They were from Massachusetts.
You lost. Oh, never mind.
And now pickleball, the ball can't hit the ground. Is that what it is? Kind of like badminton?
No, it's just like tennis, and so like you serve. It's kind of like volleyball in a way. Like you serve underhand, and then it comes. You have to let it bounce once, hit back. They have to let it bounce once, and then after that, you can hit it however you want.
Well, okay. So it's a wiffle, but wiffle balls really don't bounce.
Yeah, like that's what throws you off is that if it hits the floor on the one of the little holes, it can go anywhere, and you're like motherfucker, because it will just spin off somewhere else. But it's fun, especially if you're playing teams, because then you're really not really moving much. You just have a little square.
You're just
and just kind of smacking around.
Sounds like something I want to try before I die.
I enjoyed it. Yeah, and I don't even like playing sports. So
nice. And you went horseback riding too. I saw.
I thought it was funny. You just kept using other sports analogies for pickleball. You're like,
but it's kind of like volleyball.
It's kind of like baseball.
It's kind of like bowling. It's kind of
like bowling. Yeah.
Do you like race car driving? It's nothing like that.
You like watching movies about gladiators?
Don't get me started, man.
I was watching a quick animated GIF of a pickleball match. It looks like the saddest fucking version of tennis.
Don't shit on Nick's experience. He had a great experience.
No. I'm just comparing it to what tennis is. It looks like tennis in slow motion.
Yeah, that's kind of what it is. Yeah.
That would be really funny to just make noises like you're going in slow motion too. Anyway,
10 insane points from the 2021 U.S. Open of pickleball. There's a U.S. Open.
Really?
Yeah.
So we're gonna have like a Serena Williams of pickleball.
I think it's kind of like whereas in tennis actually requires athleticism to play. This is kind of like dodgeball of tennis.
So we're gonna start calling these pickleball athletes not real pickleball. They're not gonna be real athletes. That's gonna be.
It's like the checkers of tennis.
I mean, are bowlers really athletes? It's like,
well, it's a lot. It's not easy. I mean, not everyone can bowl.
Yeah, but I saw a machine do it like perfect strikes with a curve and everything, and I was like, "Holy shit!"
But it didn't even roll the ball; it just threw the ball down the.
No. It went down, spun it, and did this like.
I thought you were talking about the robot arm that went and it throws the ball down at the pins and knocks them all down.
No, you know how TikTok is. You're just like flipping through, and you're like, "Wow, that's really cool." And I'm like, "Well, that puts bowling players out of business."
But machines could throw the ball really hard in a baseball, or they could really throw. They could. I mean, you can't really put machines against humans.
I've thought about this with football though. At some point, wouldn't machines just take over the place of? Because I mean, some of those guys, like the cast that they put them in, the prosthetics that aren't, it's like you're constantly building and padding and putting more and more. At some point, when is it just rock'em sock'em, football with like robot?
What was that thing where they had the robots? You built your robot, and object was to destroy the other machine. Like
Autobots.
Control. Autobot. What if they did that on like football robots, and that you could have like a blade that chops off people's heads?
The Fox mascot is already prepping. It's prepping us for it.
They moved on from that. They moved on from that. Yeah, now they have these stupid like drawings. Like they're fucking stupid.
I haven't seen that.
My family hated the Fox robot.
I hated it.
I hated the Fox robot. I hated him. He was just. Let's be honest. He was an asshole.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, I hate.
I'm just
I hate
imagining
to
like
be
a
that
robot
blunt.
convention where other Transformers see him and they're like, "Fuck this guy."
Not that dick.
And he's like coming up and he's like, "Hey guys, I'm like you. I can transform."
It's the Fox Sports robot. Yeah, you're a dick.
Miami Mike says, "How will Tom Brady do against robot defenses when he's 60?"
Right?
How's he going to do in divorce court? That poor son of a bitch.
Yeah,
I think he makes money on it. Doesn't
He had a
he?
prenup.
She's worth more than him.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know. They're
regardless of
specific affairs,
money,
but
there's the emotional toll.
Yeah, I think
it's not like maybe he is a robot. Maybe he's like a Scientologist Tom Cruise robot that can just like.
I got to be honest. I don't wish it on anybody. Plus, he has kids. That can't be easy. But
right,
it has to be hard for him to at 40. He's 45, number one. But he has to concentrate on playing a sport. You have to be, especially a game where people are trying to hurt you. You have to be able to concentrate, and I just think he's not going to be able to. I mean, getting a divorce where obviously he didn't want a divorce because he left training camp for a couple of weeks to try and save it, and he probably should have just stayed retired.
yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He had literally nothing to prove.
right.
Oh, the robot's name is Cletus.
It is Cletus.
What?
Like, as in cleats.
What?
Ah.
Oh, okay. I just imagine some Fox execs like, "This is brilliant. It's gonna be like appeal to that like South demographic, you know, but it's also related."
It's like,
to
what the fuck, man?
He's got to get a joke in from time.
So Cletus is like that. Wasn't that one of the?
Cletus is not a Southern name.
That's Dukes of Hazzard, isn't it? Wasn't there a Cletus and Dukes of Hazzard?
Yep.
He's one of the good old boys.
Duke boys.
Never meant any harm.
No.
Never heard anyone. But they've been in trouble with the law
Since the day they were
born.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, Miami Mike says once Brady gets divorced, he'll have no reason to actually retire. So he's definitely going to play till he's 50. Fair point, dude.
He wants to own a team.
Yeah.
That's what he really wants to do. So,
For sure.
Oh,
he should buy an expansion team and move it to San Diego.
Or San Mateo.
No, fuck San Mateo.
But
What would they be called?
Why San Mateo?
that's where he's from, Jack.
I know, but why would it wouldn't work?
I'm not being serious. I'm just never.
Oh, okay. I was like, why would you put it in San Mateo? It's stupid. Why can't we have a team?
Called he and Ted Williams were from San Mateo, right? Isn't Ted Williams from San Mateo?
Ted Williams is from San Diego.
You just
I'm
just
gonna
buy
go ahead and
Detroit.
say, I'm gonna go ahead and call your bluff on that one.
Call it.
Ted Williams.
Went to
You should
San
just
Diego.
buy
Went to
Detroit.
San
You should buy
went to San
Detroit.
Diego High. He's on an ice cream truck. Ted Williams on an ice cream truck touring San Diego as we speak. Dun, 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 dun. Kids go, ice cream! And, who, you want to see Ted Williams' head? There you go.
God damn it. He's right.
Why would I be wrong about that?
Because you've been wrong about so many other things.
A lot of the great athletes come from, let's face it, San Diego. Just a
Name one.
well, Ted Williams. Your Heisman winners, Marcus Allen.
This Cupid pick artwork
Cupid,
that's right behind you.
Cupid guy, yeah.
Why are there white spots? Like
That's just bad Photoshop. Man.
did you not?
Oh, right
click,
there.
Click
In between his legs and behind his head.
Oh, you know what? I didn't.
Yeah.
I just
You
said
didn't
fuck
clip
it.
it.
Well, because what happened was I say Thursday work for everyone. Chris goes, no, Tuesday. It's got to be Tuesday. Fuck it, Tuesday.
Actually,
It was like five. It was like 5 o'clock at night. So I go, fuck. Let me just put something together real quick. I go, oh, there's something.
This is how much we care about you, listeners. This is we thrive.
I actually said, no can do. I'm working an overnight.
Yeah.
But if you put it into translation using your voice.
Nope, I just did. I mean, I fucking just read it.
I think the point is that we weren't here last week because
we had to do it.
We had some scheduling conflicts.
But am I being honest? When you hear Chris saying something, we don't hear it subtle Chris like that.
No
Fucking can do. fuck, it's either Tuesday or nothing. I ain't
that's
fucking
how I
doing
hear you.
Thursday. And then Nick said, okay, I'm all right. I said, okay, I'll set it up. And so
anytime you read one of my texts, I would rather you just use some kind of stoner surfer voice. Okay. So every time any of my texts come through, you think that I'm being over,
Okay. How many surfing championships have you won in Indiana?
I said, well, I'm not.
Hey,
You said stoner surfer boy.
Read it in that voice. Yeah.
They're catching the waves off the southern tip of Lake Michigan, man.
Man, I'm so wasted here in Indiana. Hang 10, buddy. It's not working for me.
Okay, I can start it, but I can't stay long.
Okay. But that I'm sure you've heard that before.
Right, sure.
It's something you probably have tattooed on your.
I do. I have
chest.
No regrets.
No regrets.
Hey, so I finished watching Cobra Kai. Did you guys all watch Cobra Kai?
Yep.
Didn't I talk about it last time we talked? I think I talked about it.
We talked about it briefly, but no one had watched except you and I.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
so I finished.
Okay.
Finished watching it.
Yeah.
Love it. I love the fact that show knows exactly what it's there to do. And
entertain.
Yeah.
That's why all the kids are on steroids.
Is delayed though.
Why?
Season 6 is delayed. Really?
It is delayed. And my theory for what season 6 is going to be.
These kids are going to be like 40.
My theory for what season 6 is going to be is that Kreese is on the run. He goes to Mexico and he joins Miguel's father's fight club and becomes like a winner. An old man just beating the shit out of like all these guys. And then that starts their relationship. He tells them about his son, and then they go back.
You're spot on, dude,
so then we find out Kreese is Johnny's son, dad, right?
Because the whole like first 2 episodes, it was like very intense, south of the border, and then it was like, never mind.
That's it. Yeah, it has to come back. Yeah.
This is just to give Robbie and what's his name to be boys again,
right? Now, am I the only one that thinks that Kreese is Johnny's biological dad?
No,
you don't think so?
No.
Why do you say? There's a scene where they're doing that flashback. He's in prison. He's thinking all this different stuff. I'm sorry, spoiler alert for people who haven't seen it. And he goes, he says something about. He goes, "Yeah, I wanted you to be better than I was."
Well, this was like a mentor to a.
But I still think it's either he's. I mean, who the hell is what's her name's mom? We haven't figured. All we do is see her feet every fucking season.
Right.
Oh, it's the mom from Cat in the Hat.
It could be Hilary Swank.
Hilary Swank.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hilary Swank's the next Karate Kid.
Oh,
I thought they're going to do that with what's her name, the girl from Cobra Kai, but they didn't. They killed off that girl's mom before you get to see her.
No, but what's the blonde hair?
She had
girl's
a better
name?
acting career.
What's a blonde hair girl's name?
The blonde
Tori.
Tori. So you're saying, oh, that could be her because she got injured boxing, right? But seriously, every season we just see her feet,
right?
So
it's
who
probably the mom from Charlie Brown?
Maybe it's a little redhead girl. She never hooked up with Charlie Brown.
We see her. We actually do see the redhead girl eventually.
Well, not as a grown up.
But I think we're going to see the return of that.
All my references have to do with legs and feet.
I'm surprised that we've only gotten one episode with Elizabeth Shue.
I know. I wanted more of her because just in general. But I think we're getting the return of the sensei that came over from Japan.
That would make sense.
You mean the older one, or
the woman?
Oh, that yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think she's going to take over Cobra Kai.
Yeah,
that's my prediction. And I think Kreese is somehow going to be involved with that. Whether that's,
I think there's going to be
Mexico, maybe
drug. I think there's.
I like the Mexican angle because why wouldn't they show more of that guy?
Why is it that whenever TV shows film in Mexico, they just put like a weird orange hue over the fucking lens? It's like, bro, I know that's downtown LA.
It's just a little bit brighter. Yeah.
Oh man, but you know what?
It's special. It's for entertainment.
Kudos to that show. They've managed to crank out 5 seasons and not losing what they're there for. And it's
again, when it originally came out, I thought it was a joke.
Yeah,
I honestly thought it was just okay. But I said, and they've done it.
I think
said that about the show.
I think everybody did. Everyone kind of thought it was gonna be like a 1 season and done, just kind of like, oh, we'll throw some fan service and then it, yeah. I mean, it is corny as hell,
season.
But
it's super cheesy.
Oh, it's very cheesy, and then you got to have the fights all the time, and then when they're all fighting and they're all protect the egg, and then they put on the tape. Everyone goes,
yeah,
like they can all hear it.
And then this super coked out, what's his name, driving the fucking limo, like
right.
Like, but it's great is every once in a while you hear these guys. Like, I think they took a little bit more liberty this year with some of the writing, because you hear they drop like motherfucker like a few different times, and seeing like Danny LaRusso like call someone a motherfucker is just weird. But I don't know. I think they did a really good job with it.
Motherfucker.
Isn't it sad though? Like, is like Daniel's the worst character on the entire show,
and by far.
That. Yeah,
by far.
Like,
he's the
you
worst.
hate him in every scene he's in. He's just the guy that won't let it go, and you're like, you just dig yourself a deeper hole every time you speak.
Oh, well, hold on. He let it go, and then his wife and everybody else said, "No, Daniel's son, or whatever."
Yeah, it was
you can't
too.
You can't win.
Yeah,
win.
Yeah, Mike says in the
what
chat
are we waiting for?
The race on the slides, the water park wasn't cheesy at all. Wink, wink. That scene should probably win the best.
Who poked the hole in my tube, man? Yeah, what was what was that going to solve?
Exactly.
No, but thing is though, for time out for a hot second. I mean, go back when you were 13, 14, 15 years old. That water park race probably would have been absolutely a fucking thing that would have happened.
It probably would have. But why does one have to go?
Like, I have been on a water slide race before. I've done one.
But you had one. Tori was in the open, and Hawk had to go. It's because we have Hawks all over. Every time I hear a Hawks voice, I go, "Oh, Cobra Kai." But he had to go through a tunnel.
Eagle Fang,
which actually had to slow him down.
Yeah.
Right. Which would slow. I mean, it's like, okay, no, I want the open one.
Right.
But I mean, who's the Danny of Arcade?
It's one of these three. I don't know. You guys decide. I'll take it. I don't care.
I'll definitely say though the fight montage at the end, the final.
It's Jack's clip art.
Yeah, maybe. The fight montage of that last few moments of the show was really good. Like, it was actually really good. Like, you didn't know what the fuck was going to happen, and then you see one of the characters get really injured, and you're like, "Oh, fuck, is he?
Did you think they just left him in the pool?"
Totally. Thought he was dead.
Yeah,
thought he was absolutely dead.
That was what's his name? Chosen. Yeah.
I mean, I was trying to be.
Wait, that was the funniest line when he goes, "It's just a flesh wound," and then when the Daniel's son goes, "That's a lot of flesh."
How funny was his Chosen's character this season though? Like, it was ironically how he was kind of like the comic relief.
And he also got redemption. Sure, he kidnapped a person. Sure, he tried to kill people.
Well, that's what I said. Like, there's no way he's not getting deported. Like, I mean, the dude like assaulted how many people this season?
Yeah.
I was like, and then Chris,
LaRusso has money.
There was times where I thought he was really funny, and there was times where I was like, I didn't like how far they went with him being the comic relief. Yeah, I was like, because I liked him being the badass, and part 2, and then it was a little
Long
bit
Island iced tea.
Yeah.
And then you had one of One of my favorite characters, I think, of the season was Stingray.
Of course.
Come with me if you want to live.
Yeah. He's
So good. So good.
You want to see him? I know I recommended it before. I think it's called Blackbird on Apple TV. It's just one season. Yeah, he's the serial killer. Like,
oh, really?
Spoilers.
Yeah. Like, yeah, if you guys want, if you want to watch him in a different role altogether, like, it's him and the guy that was in Edward, whatever it is, the guy that played Elton John in the Elton John movie.
Okay.
Basically, Stingray is a serial killer that's been put in jail, but the FBI has nothing really hard evidence on him, and so they sent in the guy who plays Elton John, who's already a convicted felon. Yeah, they sent him in there to try to get a confession out of him so they can actually keep him in jail, and it's a good series.
Can you hold that thought?
Yep.
At this time, we're going to take a commercial break.
But technically, we don't.
Are we going an hour?
Yeah, you don't have to.
We'll put one in.
We'll still do it.
There it is.
We want to make that extra 15 cents. So,
I need for you to stop talking.
You could just track back and just cut it in the middle of all of it.
Flip it and reverse it.
Stop talking.
Yeah, I'll try that White Claw. Sounds like a badass drink. That was pretty fun. that was
it's like, what the fuck is it?
I love Johnny's character. Like, it's so funny to see like that role. Like, even from season 1, when you first see him like just crushing banquet beers, you're like,
yeah,
that's exactly what fucking Johnny would be doing.
Yeah, exactly.
But let's face it. How old is Johnny? Like 60?
He's 50, like 8 or something like that.
And he's having a kid now?
Yeah. But she's only like 37.
Okay, well, hats off to him, but still, it's should he be having a kid? It's almost like his stepdad was Ed Asner,
right?
So it's like the circle of life. Am I right? Mm-hmm. Now, hopefully, he doesn't treat his kid like Ed Asner treated Johnny.
I mean, I'd have a kid with her. Just saying.
I would too.
Anyway,
Jack, I saw that you watched The Bear.
I finished The Bear. It's only 8 episodes. I wanted more. I got to tell you were right, because you're the only one who's seen it, right? The other two haven't seen it.
No, I saw it first and recommended it, and then Matt watched it based on my recommendation and loved it. And then
what network is it on?
Hulu. It's on Hulu.
Well, that's why.
It is fantastic. I mean, but it's totally a character-driven show. Everything about it's there's no, you're not going to get special effects. You're not getting this. It's intense, and I did kind of predict the ending. In fact, I pretty much nailed the ending, but I just thought it was great. I thought the flashbacks were perfect, and how they were setting everything up, and everything he was going through, and
the person that they got to play his brother.
Yeah,
his brother.
Okay, I didn't see that. I said, wow.
But that he fit right into that. Like I don't know, like what you saw.
I mean, it's almost like I know he kills himself, but it's almost like he was Walking Dead. He was.
Oh.
No,
but and then their sister. She's an SNL cast member, and
Oh, is that where I kept going? Where do I know her from?
And she's in a completely different, like, serious role. It's not even for comedy or anything.
Chef. It was like the whole thing, and the guy that plays his cousin, his cousin, not his cousin, but he's intense.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I had to look at that actor too.
And I kept waiting for him to get arrested.
Yeah.
I said it's going to happen, but and then he started his backstory and how he's kind of. It was. I'm glad you guys recommended it. It was outstanding.
Well,
I even held off a day because I didn't want to finish it.
You kind of think he is like when he gives all those kids all that Prozac, or Valium or whatever it is he's giving them, and then Albert Platt's like, I dig it.
Yeah. He goes, they're not going to die, are they?
Mike says in the chat, John Bernthal has been in everything this year. It's true. He's been in quite a bit of stuff recently.
Who's John Bernthal?
You just mentioned him, the guy from Walking Dead.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah. I don't know his name.
He's in a lot of stuff.
Isn't he the Gigolo or something?
it's appropriate that Mike, the one other podcaster that we cover The Walking Dead, would actually know the name.
I don't know their names.
But
hey, you.
Did you guys see the news about Deadpool?
Yeah,
no,
it's coming back
and Wolverine
in 2024.
Which is, I mean, I think it's a long way out. We probably have heard all the follow up since that movie or that clip was released a few days ago. But did you notice that the living room that he was filming it in was actually the living room from Logan?
Oh,
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, to the staircase and the living room. Jack's never seen Logan. But it's just kind of
I saw him run.
Like, he's going to be able to go back in time to that point before Logan dies because it goes into the house where Logan was. So I think it's kind of cool. Good work.
There's a show on, I think it's on Peacock. I think it's on Peacock. It's a British show. And my wife actually, no, I'm going to watch that. But my wife started watching it. And my wife never laughs at anything, really. Like she'll chuckle, but she's
got your jokes to deal with.
So weird.
Well, that's true. I mean, maybe I've just wore out because
like 80 grit sandpaper.
But she started watching this show called Code 404. It's a British show, and it is. She's right. It's hilarious. I'm on my third episode.
It's on the cock, no?
Yeah. Basically, what it is a cop. It's about two cops. What's a cop show? One cop gets killed. But they bring him back to. They bring him back. They have the technology to bring him back to life. He's like 10% AI. And
it's like a robot.
Oh, it's got Stephen Graham in it. I like him.
Stephen Graham's in it.
Yeah,
British guy. He's in Snatch, and
he was in Band of Brothers. He was in Brooklyn, Boardwalk Empire. He usually plays an angry guy.
Yeah,
but
he plays a lot of cops.
He's hilarious.
Looking it up now.
They're hilarious.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was in the Venom movie. He was like the detective trying to hunt down Venom.
Yeah, it's hilarious. It is funny. I guarantee you.
Oh, he's in Peaky Blinders. That's where I was remembering him from.
Yes, he
was the guy that they sent north. That was like stealing drugs or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was kind of what made Arthur kind of turn his.
He's been in, exactly. He's been in a ton of things. He's I don't know why I recognize his name, but he's been in a ton of crap. He's but it's a funny show. I highly recommend it. I guarantee you will not be disappointed.
All right.
The episodes are only like 22, 23 minutes long.
Oh yeah, because it's British, right?
British, yeah, and it's off the wall comedy, and I guarantee you're gonna like it. I also watched. The Men Who Built the Frontier. I got Hulu now, so I'm watching all these shows. Men Who Built the Frontier. It's History Channel.
Oh, okay.
It's about Daniel Boone, Davy Crockett, Andrew Jackson, Kit Carson, all these different people. And can we just say that these people from Tennessee, Andrew Jackson, just a dick, right?
He's not actually from Tennessee.
Well, he
Lazy Susan.
Yeah,
that's the difference.
he was. Well, it's funny because when I'm watching it, they have historians talking about it, and one guy really made a good point. He goes, "Well, if you take what Andrew Jackson did to the Indians, you take that out, he wasn't a bad president,
right?
Because you have the Trail of Tears,
right?
But then you start thinking, goes, well, what have other presidents done? You have Truman, obliterated how many Japanese,
right?
You had Frank FDR locked up Japanese Americans and took everything away from him. So you look at every president, what they've done. You go, okay, they're all shitty.
If you held the Nuremberg standard to every president since World War II, every single one of them are war criminals.
Exactly. Now I'm not defending Andrew Jackson. He was a dick. I mean, I don't like what he did to.
Technically, is Biden yet?
Yeah, well, I mean, how many people bombs probably but they're counting like just drone strikes, things like that are carried out in his name.
The problem is Biden could really deny it, and he could deny it and actually be, he could believe he didn't do it, right? Because he didn't.
Was that a memory joke, Jack?
Yeah,
Yeah,
remember
Because
Well,
fucking Bob.
Same
I know.
thing works with Reagan. Okay,
I could. Well, say, hey, we're not doing whatchamacallit here. We don't have to do
Politics?
that. No, it's. I mean, I know people
I
hate.
thought we were doing emails.
Yeah, not yet. But no, I agree with Nick. I agree with Nick. But no, Andrew Jackson, what he did to the Indians is just atrocious.
Oh yeah, and he's the one of the main reasons why the executive branch really grew under him, and then really grew under Abraham Lincoln. But because he was the guy that the Supreme Court actually ruled at that time that he couldn't remove the Cherokee from East Tennessee because they had structured a deal, and then he was like, but they discovered gold and other things like that, and so he's like, no, we're going to move them anyway, and they like, yeah, they ruled, but let's see them enforce it. So like there was nothing that they could do about it.
And Davy Crockett was a congressman from Tennessee, and he opposed it.
Yeah,
and he fought against him, ended up losing by 4 votes. And then Andrew Jackson went
Hulu for fucking 2 weeks. Now he's a goddamn history buff.
And then Andrew Jackson goes
Jack segment every week until he
Andrew Jackson goes, I'm going to destroy Davy Crockett, who was a true American hero.
Yeah.
Even though, be fair, I mean, Andrew Jackson did do some things.
I mean, John in the chat says, stick to producing.
John. Anyway, so it's fascinating. I mean, it's just, I was like going, it just.
Yeah, I'll check it out.
You know what's actually super fascinating? The fact we got 4 emails.
Oh, and then one more show I want to talk about. La Brea's back.
Oh,
La Brea's back.
Yeah, because everybody wanted to hear about that.
I did want to mention that I did
the
watch.
Show get worse. Yeah,
I did watch the first 2 episodes of Reboot because Matt.
Oh,
Matt
yeah.
I did. I watched the first 3 episodes.
Okay.
Yeah. What'd you guys think?
I liked it.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep watching it. I forgot actually all about it. I've been too busy.
But then I got Hulu and I started watching other things, and
Sure.
It's fun. It is funny though. I enjoy
This
it.
week's episode is sponsored by Hulu.
Yeah.
Well, I like the twist at the end of the first episode.
See, I didn't. I was like, damn it, because like you want to see them all get pumped about making something different, and then
what's funny though is my wife, she started on the 3rd episode, and she thought that was the pilot, and she said it still works because you're already introduced by the concept that this is a reboot, and you're picking up these characters as they go along. And then
the best
she kind
part,
of worked her way backwards.
I can't decide who's the best, the kid or Johnny Knox.
The kid.
Johnny Knox.
Johnny Knox is pretty good too.
I can't decide. I can't figure out who I like best, but the kid, because no one really paid attention to him as a kid, and they still don't pay attention to him. Anyway, let's get to those emails because we're going to be tight.
Hey, we're fitting it in tight this week.
Yeah, there you go.
2 of them are from Joanne.
Oh,
with a plan.
Yeah. So she
finally.
Yeah. So the title is "I'm Back."
Yes.
Yeah.
I like this email already.
In January, I slipped. Oh, it's a bit of a downer, but not.
Wow, I spoke too soon.
Yeah. I mean, just
sorry.
It's just unfortunate. It's unfortunate what happened to Joanne. So that's
fuck.
Okay. So in January I slipped on the ice and broke my wrist bone, and more importantly, I tore a ligament.
I do remember seeing this on Facebook.
Limited in activity as I went through 2 surgeries and 6 months of rehab.
Wow.
Holy crap.
Combined, more recently, my mother passed away. She was 96.
Oh, no.
So I ended up with much more activity on my part than expected. I fell far behind in podcast listening.
Can I just say something? Who was the asshole that kept calling her out every week? Saying, "Hey, why is she not responding?" I know. That was you. I feel bad.
and you even knew on you had Facebook information.
Well,
Some of us are like gone from Facebook.
I knew, but I didn't do research on it. Jeez.
Okay.
I apologize, Joanne.
Well, we're sorry to hear.
I fell far behind in podcast listening at the time. One of the casualties, of course, was the broadcast and the RCAD. But I'm back. I decided to pick up.
I can see you falling behind in the broadcast.
I decided to pick up the end of August shows and hope to catch up soon. I miss listening to you all, and I'm glad to be back. Hope I did not miss anything. the word I'm trying to
I thought you
like
just
Facebook.
froze.
Oh, did I? Okay. Well, hopefully I didn't miss anything good in between. One thing I did in the meantime is start a personal blog, rhinotalk.blog, which includes
I'm a
details
subscriber
of my happenings since January. Anyway, time to ramble and broadcast along. Join with the plan.
Oh, well,
Thanks.
Sorry for your injury.
That's a rough stretch.
Yeah,
It is tough.
And I apologize for that asshole producer who kept bugging
just
you.
even handling a death, and all of the things, because there's the death, but then there's everything that comes after it with the estate and what you do with it, and people to contact, and things that just keep coming up. So that sucks. So,
but
second email
back.
Second email from Joanne is titled "Me Again."
Oh,
just finished episode 183. Who is the deep throat goat? From September.
Yeah, I forgot that.
These titles, guys. so good.
How come we never have a whatchamacall about Nancy Reagan? Am I right? It's just
what did Joanne think about the episode?
Well, she didn't comment necessarily on the title, but
okay.
I do plan on catching up in the next week or two. When, to my surprise, you all mentioned missing me. Thanks. It was nice to know my absence was noticed. Anyway, you left me in suspense by saying you were waiting for me to respond to something, and you never stated what that something was. So please either re-ask in your next episode and wait a few weeks for me to catch up so I can respond, or post it on Facebook, please.
We wanted to know about your sex life.
No, we wanted to know about...
For All Mankind.
For All Mankind.
I did say it several episodes earlier, Joanne, but I'm not going to complain.
Yeah.
Right. And if you haven't seen For All Mankind, we understand. But
yes,
we would if we know that you work for NASA.
For NASA.
The general question was
Apple.
We wanted her perspective on this.
Right, exactly.
Right. As someone who works in the aerospace industry,
because it drew all four of us into that world, and
I've never worked for NASA because they just won't take me. So,
just like Survivor.
Heads up.
Are you saying it's because his head?
Yeah,
it's him. He said it.
John, why you be a hater? Why you gotta be such a hater? Here's a summary from this year's shows. Matt was high, Jack was high, Chris was high, and Nick's internet was spotty.
Not every episode was Nick's internet spotty.
I was gonna say complete bullshit because his internet is like more than just spotty. It
took 48 minutes. I looked at the clock. It took 48 minutes for the first outage to happen for Nick tonight. It happened to be the beginning of Joanne's email, so I apologize for Nick's email. Nick's internet.
Well, when Nick takes center stage, his internet falls apart.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, I think it's because in typical Ramblecast fashion, is that if I start speaking, then one of you fuckers interrupts me, especially Jack, it just kind of. But anyway,
what the hell?
All right. So sorry to be absent, and I missed you all. Also, not sorry. I apparently missed Matt's leaving, as I am happy he is back.
Oh
man, a lot happened in 9 months.
Well, the best part of the show is when
I will be writing again soon. God damn it! A lot happened in 9 months. Apparently, I will be writing again soon as I know what I'm supposed to respond to, Joanne.
There you go.
I think you're gonna love it, but that's just me.
Show's fucking great. Like
it's a great show, but I don't know if someone who works for NASA,
you might actually be a little bit more like the sausage is made like this, and you're making like bacon over here. This is bullshit.
Yeah.
So let us know.
Yeah.
Let us know if you're just
awesome.
Like, what?
But bacon's still awesome.
Bacon's still awesome.
But is it awesome to someone?
That's why the metaphor works.
Is it awesome to someone that worked at NASA? That's the thing.
Yeah.
That works at NASA.
Yeah.
I mean, if I had to choose between sausage and bacon, I'd probably go with bacon, but that's a hard decision.
100%.
Okay,
100%.
This is how the sausage is made. You work in a sausage factory.
Totally get it, but now I'm hungry.
It depends on the sausage.
Okay. What's the next email?
Yeah, I like patty sausage more than I do link sausage.
I don't like I like the link sausage.
You got 4 more minutes with me.
Anyway,
what's the next email?
If it's cooked right. You got to cook it right.
The next one is from Maggie Mac.
Sausage bun.
It's actually quite good to get like the big and then make a burger out of sausage.
I've done it with corn tortilla shells. You fry them up. You put the sausage in there. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
All right. So
abrasive.
The next email is from Maggie Mac. Hey
Maggie.
Jack, Nick, Chris, and Matt. I got to mix it up since you always comment on how emails are addressed.
I'm always first.
I'm glad to be last.
Never been
Second
first.
billing. Second
I've
billing.
been last.
Yeah. A few weeks ago, Chris asked, who watches live TV these days? The only thing I watch live is House of Dragon. It comes on HBO Max around 8:55, so we hit play. But is that really true live TV if you can hit play on it?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah,
it's not like SNL.
It's the exact opposite of live TV.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, sure.
It's not live TV.
Yeah.
Patties.
I get it though. It's on at 9. I'm waiting for it to drop, and then I'm watching it.
Right.
But it's not live.
You hit play as
True.
it's live. You can still pause it.
That's
as
true.
it's
You've never like had to like
sometimes I'm
rely
like sometimes I'm starting
commercials
at
to
9:30.
take your piss.
Correct. I can pause it at any moment.
Right.
I can walk away.
The old
A
days, you
game
couldn't pee.
Right.
There was no way going back and catching it. What I missed, I can't explain it to you.
Well, because the old days, there's like 90-second commercial break or a 60-second commercial break. There was nothing.
No, there's not enough time to run to
Break
the bathroom.
me off
pee.
a piece of that commercial break.
Now you can get up, take a piss, and think about a bowl of popcorn.
Because
I'd agree, Randy.
HBO started, they would with long movies like The Right Stuff, they would have like a 3-minute break halfway through the movie.
Intermission.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
I'm sorry. What did Maggie have a?
There's a lot more to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, why don't you finish it?
So it's been
because we're assholes and we jump in and cut things off. That's
a little bit.
literally what we do for fucking hours at end.
It's in the show title.
Okay. It's been really fun to watch live and listen to podcasts about it, as she means House of the Dragon. And I do miss hearing Jay, Jack, and Nick talk about Game of Thrones. Next paragraph. Nick said,
should we comment on that though?
I mean, we can. I mean, the thing about House of the Dragon is, what made the Game of Thrones podcast good was, you had the in the book section,
right?
And we covered it. And
well, I don't know if that made it good.
Yeah, but the comparisons, but like, there's not much you can really cover with a House of the Dragon show because all you can base it off of is the Fire and Blood book, which is like a history book, and then you have 2 short novellas that kind of give you a broad understanding of the show. So I know all the events that are going to happen. I just don't know the details of how they get to that point.
Would it be easier? Because like on soap operas and stuff, they used to say now playing the part of such and such is done. Because they just start off and all of a sudden they go, well, who's this old person having an old blonde haired girl having a baby? Oh, that's the kid that was a kid an episode ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they should have addressed that like in the time leap forward, like, hey, 10 years later,
Yeah, but they don't. They just all of a sudden you're like going, ah! I go, okay, that's got to be what's her name.
This show is brutal on mothers. Brutal.
It is.
On fucking mothers. Every time I sit down to watch it, I'm like, God. No,
are we gonna give her a C-section? No.
So I haven't seen the show yet.
Okay.
I've been
spoilers on mothers.
There's a really hot scene with a pregnant lady.
I've been enjoying the other story, the Hobbit one, Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Rings of
Power.
Yeah.
Thank you, Rings of Power.
John, is it an hour already?
Yeah, it is.
It'd be another hour before we get to this email.
Well, if you'd finish it.
That's why we wanted to start like at the commercial break.
All right, second paragraph. Nick said he wouldn't date a woman with his sister's name. I have been on a few dates with guys who share my brother's names, and it's really weird. It didn't last. My dad and one of my brothers have the same name, so it's doubly weird.
Oh yeah,
yeah. That is yeah.
Because then there's the whole like
Daddy
call out. You went there.
I did. I did it. I fucking did it. Because she meant it in the email. I just brought it to life.
Right. Yeah.
Call my name. I can't.
Nope.
Can't do it. I don't want to do it. Nope.
Call me Donnie.
Yeah. Sweetheart. Yeah, okay. That's not my name. I don't care what your name is. Doesn't matter at this point.
Can't do it. Don't call him daddy. Don't.
Okay, more of the email.
Third paragraph. If not remembering what BBY means in Star Wars makes you a bad Star Wars fan, then I am a bad Star Wars fan.
I had no idea what it was.
Oh, really?
Until I saw your text. I didn't know.
When my roommate and I watched the first episode of Andor, I asked him if BBY is the battle at the end of A New Hope. I can never quite remember that. I think because Yavin isn't really mentioned in the movie, which is true.
Yeah.
Or no, it says the moon.
I thought they were approaching
Yavin's moon.
Yavin's moon.
Yavin moon.
Right.
Yeah, that's right. We are orbiting the third moon around the planet of. Yeah, I think that's what.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think,
yeah.
If not, it seems like it's something that would be in the book, you know. But anyway, not that you need to know that, but fair, you know.
Andor's been good.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting to watch it, but now I got Hulu, so.
Okay.
This episode's still sponsored by Hulu.
Hulu.
It's what Jack does.
And White Claw.
Jackson and I have watched every show on Hulu by next week.
All right. I am loving Andor, She-Hulk, House of the Dragon. I haven't watched Rings of Power yet, and I can't decide if I want to.
Chris hates She-Hulk.
I take it back.
Because you were bashing it. I didn't even give it a chance because Chris kept saying
I
it
liked
fucking
this
sucked.
episode
I
a
bashed
lot.
it before I saw it. Because I thought this looks so fucking dumb. I've
Sexist.
watched 2 or 3 episodes in now, and I enjoy the campiness and because again, it's a show that knows exactly what it is and it doesn't veer away from it. I appreciate that. So far,
right.
I'm actually digging it.
All right.
I'm glad
All right.
I'm glad you were recording this week. I always miss you guys when you don't record. Breaks are good. Maggie.
Oh.
Thank you, Maggie.
Yeah.
And thanks for always putting my name first. That's how it should be.
Yeah.
Fourth and last email is from Randy.
Oh, my God. I thought we were going to get through an hour without Randy's email. Okay, go ahead.
Cowboy and Rough Rider.
I'm sorry. We're all out of time. We had to be an hour straight. Sorry, Randy. We're going to have to save your email for next week. Go ahead.
Why can't we just be an hour by? Go ahead.
That was probably my least favorite sketch.
Of course, it's John, the retired guy's favorite.
Yeah,
Go
of
ahead,
course.
Nick.
There's no
We're
sound.
talking about SNL sketches.
Cowboy and Rough Rider Nick recently went on a horse riding trip.
He did.
If each of you owned a horse, what would your horse's name be? Would you be willing to ride it bareback, or would you require protection like Matt? Giddy up. I added in the like Matt.
I've actually rode bareback as a kid, so
I would not. I mean, I think I could ride with a blanket, but I don't think I'd want to ride bareback.
that's when I thought I was Indian, but now I'm not Indian. I can't do that anymore. But as a kid, I did.
Go ride a horse.
I haven't ridden a horse since
ain't
I haven't ridden a horse since I was 14, and that was bareback. So in Campo, California. Nancy the horse, John says.
Nancy the horse.
Long neck, deep throat.
Is that the name of the? Is that the name of the episode?
My horse is Lazy Susan, for sure.
Lazy Susan.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
Because that's kind of like a good racehorse name. But like a good shitty racehorse name. Like one who's like not good at racing. Which is
15 lengths behind, furlongs
synonymous-
behind is
very
Lazy
synonymous.
Susan.
very synonymous with myself. I very rarely would win a race. So yeah, well, look at that. Randy was on the same page as me.
Wow, what
Chris's
I
horse,
name my
Lazy
horse?
Susan. Okay. Yeah.
Maybe like
Is there a
Bob.
chat delay?
I think Bob, maybe.
Bob.
Oh, hey Bob.
Just a name.
Bob.
Yeah.
Hi, Bob.
I think
Hi,
Hi
Bob.
Bob would be a kind of fun.
Hi Bob.
fun-
Hi Bob
mm,
would be a good horse.
Yeah.
Or it could be the Nancy Reagan horse. Bob.
Yeah, like I thought it was fun, like they gave me the ginger horse, which I thought was funny. And
Who
its
did?
name was Strawberry. But
Strawberry.
But they called it Berry. So I was like, oh, that makes sense.
That photo did look like the opening theme from Bonanza.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But you notice, like, if you look at that photo of all four of us, like, I'm the only one that actually has, like, a proper horse. Because, like, if you're of a certain weight and height, they have to.
No. I would name the horse Randy, and I would take it out back and shoot it. That's what I would do.
Could you just see Matt riding Gretchen,
So for everyone out
the
there,
horse?
Matt names his horse Gretchen.
And unfortunately, he would ride it too
I could have
hard.
just tuned out the last 3 minutes of this, and you could have still made these jokes without me here, and it would work. So
Matt's favorite jeans.
Well, we have some favorite people to thank.
we do so many
Before we
favorite
close the
people,
show.
and if
Thanks
you want
for
to send us an email, we'll get to them earlier next
Yes.
time.
Well,
We'll maybe
we're
we'll
not
have a
using
longer
we're not
show
using
this time.
an hour type. It doesn't have to always be an hour type. This week it had to be.
Hey,
It's definitely not because it's about an hour and 15 now.
Ooh.
It's an hour and 5 minutes. Hour and 5 minutes, not bad. If Nick
Oh,
could have got through the emails a little quicker, we would have finished on
Well,
time.
if Jack was on time, it would have been an hour and 4 minutes.
that's true.
That's
Yeah,
true.
that's
I've already taken responsibility early. You know,
We wouldn't have read Randy's
I-
email. We could have cut out a lot of fat out of this whole fucking thing. So at this point, Chris was going to say we need to thank some special patrons.
Go ahead and thank him.
Thank you. Thank you all. I appreciate
There's only
Okay.
5. See if you can name
I
them.
thank all of Not one. One is not more important than the other. All together.
Oh my
That's such a
god,
good
that was
job.
funny. That was funny. We're thanking Tack from Paris, Eckhart Rickner, Glaffelder, Maggie the Magnificent. Thanks for the email. Joanne with a plan. Thank you for both emails. And seriously,
Thank you.
watch For All Mankind. We all enjoy it, and I think you will too. And Ed, the creepy letter carrier, thanks for all you're doing. Thanks for everyone who joined us in the chat, even John, the retired guy. Okay, really don't thank him. But anyway, thanks everyone. We'll be back next week.
Yeah.
Yep.
Probably.
And that's all we got. Hasta luego and goodbye. Great show, kids. 1 in a million. Bye. Blah, blah, blah.
See ya.
Good evening.
Matt?
Well, you took all of the
You took his
lines.